Hello there, good morning all. This is Doc J coming to you from the 7:30 Academy on this Friday morning, the 8th of September 2023. I hope we're all doing good. So as you know, we are here every weekday at 7:30 hours for 30 minutes, and we appreciate all of you who come out and listen to us. On Mondays, we have Rev Water with Prosperity Insights and a whole load of knowledge. Sunshine Sylvia is on Tuesday, working with us in the Mindset Change program and various other cocktail chats. Wednesday is our market day, so even you can come and market your brand or any other services that you would like to throw out there into the world. Doc Nelly comes on Thursday, guiding us in the prosperity of our souls, all aspects of life really. She's an all-rounder. Friday, we run with the motto, prevention is better than cure, which is what we are doing today with me, Dr. Jacqueline Mulindika Mulwanda, but fondly known as Doc Jackie. So after the 2 sessions on the richness of our local food market, which we have gone through and getting a lot of information on the nutrients that we find in our local foods, and just generally the importance of eating healthy and staying on the local market. I remember one outstanding example of vitamin C in baobab fruit, and yes, it has a lot of vitamin C. And instead of sucking those same vitamin C tablets that we buy from the chemist, sucking on a seed from the mabuyu fruit would do us a great good. And so I wondered, what could we follow up this food knowledge with? And today we'll look at weight management. A whole book can be written on weight management because it involves so much. But we'll apply what we have talked about on this forum and see how far we can go with it. Weight management plays a crucial role in living a healthy lifestyle. And of course, people will say, physician, heal thyself. We're working on it too. As we know, being overweight or obese predisposes you to various non-communicable diseases. And in fact, even if you had a traumatic injury, your healing pattern will be a bit slower. It will be difficult sometimes to apply some of the methods that we use to fix bones, for instance, and so on, because of the extra fat that is on you. So it is good to control your weight. It is good to manage your weight so that it remains in healthy levels. So let's look at some practices on weight management. The first one we'll look at is foods, because that's what we've been talking about. And eating a balanced and nutritious diet, which Gwen told us about in the past 2 presentations on Fridays, and also venturing into our own nutritious local foods. So one needs to focus on consuming a variety of nutrients, and these are found in nutrient-dense foods like fruits, especially those in season. Very soon mangoes will be on us, and mangoes, being an orange fruit, sometimes their color codes to this, is high in vitamin A, and of course it has fiber, so it helps in various ways. And then there's vegetables. We have a huge variety of vegetables in our local foods, and even those that you find on the market. Whole grains and nuts. We are right now in the season of shelled nuts, because the fresh nuts, this is season meaning when we are following the rains and everything, you can grow anything at any time of the year if you are able to water your own crop. But now we are in the dry nut season. We've harvested our fresh groundnuts. We've had a season when we ate them, and now it is the shelled dry nut, which is also very rich in protein and good for your digestion as well. But as I always say, change of any type is a gradual process. So don't tell yourself you suddenly stop eating this, stop eating this, and start eating this. Sudden stoppage of things usually ends up in a relapse. And the relapse can be very, very discouraging. So let's take any change that you want to take onto your life as a gradual process. Another practice is portion control. Portion control is important. You don't need to start putting things on the scale and so on, but just using your eyes. Control your portions. Over time, you will know that when you've eaten so much, you are actually satisfied, and it will take you for some time. So you can use smaller plates to start with, but better still, I've seen plates which are usually done as for children, portioned in 3. There's usually one larger piece, one larger section, and 2 small ones. And that would be a good way of also controlling your portions. And the larger one should have the vegetables and fruits, and the other 2 have the protein and the starch. It's usually there. Most of the time you find that the shima is on the larger side and the 2 relishes are on the smaller ones. So that will help in helping you portion your food. And while I'm talking about that, I grew up with the discipline of not wasting food. My mom was a teacher, so teaching applied in everything. But I noticed that when you go to an event, especially when food is served as a buffet, people will just pick and not consume everything, and then it goes to waste. I am very conscious when I'm picking food from a buffet. I will pick what I know that I will eat and not waste any food. And that is how I grew up. So that will also help. Portioning your food can apply in that particular way. When you're at a buffet, be conscious of what you're taking. Don't just take for the sake of taking, because sometimes you can actually, as you're chatting away, manage to finish all that food and then realize you're too full at the end of it all. So consciously select what you're going to eat and eat it. And select it with the thought that you're taking nutrient-dense foods, not just food because it is food. Developing a regular meal routine also helps with our working lives, because when you're at home, you can say, okay, I'll eat at this time and this time and this time. Most of the time, whether you're in formal employment or you're working for yourself, these days our life, we're up and about. So preparing as a meal to carry with you, to eat at the appropriate time from home, and it will be a healthy snack because you're preparing it from home. You're not buying some fast food or just grabbing some processed food from the supermarket. And that will help you maintain a regular meal routine. Because sometimes we skip meals and then suddenly that hunger hits you and you'll be tempted to eat anything and everything. You end up snacking on things that you shouldn't snack on, and then 2-3 hours later you're eating a full meal and so on. The problem with irregularity in our meals is because it confuses our metabolism. The metabolism buttons also go a little berserk, and when your metabolism is not good, then you're not getting the maximum of the nutrients from the food that you're consuming. Water is life, and we can never get tired of talking about it. We know that we need to take a certain amount. For women, it's like up to 2.5 to 3 liters. For men, it can even go up to 5 liters. But again, don't just start from having been taking 1 cup of water every day, then suddenly you tell yourself you take 2 liters. Then you hate water, even just seeing it you will not want to take it, and that will not be good for your health. So staying hydrated by drinking our recommended amounts of water keeps us healthy and keeps our bodies happy. Sometimes you will mistake thirst for hunger and eat, whereas if you are well hydrated, you will avoid that unnecessary snacking. Adequate sleep is also important. We say you should sleep at least 8 hours a day, but it can vary for different people. I think it can go from 6 to 8 hours, but this should be quality sleep. The emphasis is on quality sleep. It's not an issue of just lying in bed and you're not sleeping, you're tossing and turning, and you've been there for 8 hours and you get up and you said you have slept. No, should be quality sleep where your body actually rests. And during that resting time, various things are happening in your body. Your certain systems are removing toxins and so on. And you're generally allowing your cells to heal and regenerate and everything. So quality, adequate sleep is very good. And that also, if it's not there, it disrupts those same systems that are supposed to go on while you're sleeping. And so it will affect the hormones that control the hunger and feeling full systems. And it will lead you to unnecessary snacking, overeating, and essentially gain weight that you were not really supposed to gain. So quality sleep, adequate quality sleep, is also part of the weight management practices. Stress management. I've spoken about that before in healthy living. And everybody will be exposed to some element of stress. No one can say, no, I'm never stressed and so on. But the idea is how we manage that stress. How we manage that stress will really guide us into, show you which way to go. It is very easy to comfort eat or to just snack thinking that the stress will go away. So some people will binge eat, just eat and eat and eat. You eat a whole packet of crisps, you finish that, you take a whole bottle of Coke and so on. And somehow it's distracting you from the stress you're going through. So that little stress or that big stress that you're going through, how you manage it is very important. Sometimes you need to seek for help. But at the end of the day, just do not fall into the food comfort of stress, because that will lead to a wayward management of your weight and may lead you to unhealthy living and predispose you to certain diseases. Of course, regular physical exercise or physical activity which fits into your daily schedule is highly recommended. There are various types of physical activity. It would be just the usual walk. It could be a run, depending on how fit you're feeling. And it could be just some physical activity, gardening, and so on. In jobs which involve a lot of walking, like my job, you'll be walking the corridors of the hospital, and that, if you're consciously doing it, is actually adding to your physical activity. And there are various types of physical activity. When you go, like you want to talk like a health professional, there's cardiac activity, cardiac exercise, there's muscle strengthening, there's joint, things focused at joints so that they remain agile and so on. But you don't really have to go into any program as long as you have this regular physical activity, and this will help greatly in your weight management. And of course, these days we have a lot of gyms. We have trainers who you don't necessarily have to follow to a gym. There are all sorts of ways. And sometimes just group fun. You know, you can tell yourselves you'll be doing this as a friend or 2, 3, 4, whatever group you want to, and just have some fun in the exercise. Plan a time that is good for you. And as you're having that fun, it can be a dancing routine. It can be anything, as long as you're exercising and keeping your body healthy. That goes a long way in weight management. And you can always seek support in this journey that you're taking on yourself. Seek support for those who have been doing it, those who can be able to guide you, and especially when your self-discipline is not working. Sometimes you can tell yourself, I'm going to do this, this, and the other. But when something comes up, it's very easy to say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. But when you have somebody who is supporting you, someone who is guiding you in all the different aspects of weight management, it can be a nutritionist, a dietitian, a physiotherapist, a gym trainer, someone who has already walked through weight management and has had a successful walk with it. Many people will be able to help you. And always monitor your progress. Documenting is helpful in everything. In medicine, we never keep people's histories and examinations in our heads. We always document and make a file for you. So even in life, you can make various files of the various aspects of your life. So documenting the food, the exercise, the water, everything that is going with this focused weight management that you want to do, this will help you a long way. And it will, help the whole process of just changing the way you live, changing into a healthy lifestyle. And you'll be able to look back and say which parts should you concentrate on. Some areas will work very well, some areas will be difficult to move with. But you'll be able to look back into your diary, look back into your logbook, and see that, okay, here I think I need to do it like this, and so on. And be able to share with your friends who you are working with, and be able to say, okay, this is how it's going to get better. Because it is a process. It is a process. It's not something that you do overnight. Because remember, we are running with prevention is better than cure. So for today, that is what I had to cover. And as we go along now, I have realized that I want to be relevant to your life. I want to be relevant to what you want to know. So during the week or even during this session, you can send in questions, and we can send in questions and look at, which I can look at, so that I focus what you want to hear. Focus on what you want to hear. There are certain things that you can read up on your own, certain things that you read up and you do not understand. So that is the way I want to go. I want to be relevant to your life. In medicine, we learn a lot of things, but not everything applies to everybody. But if we focus in what you want to hear, I think we'll get much more value from listening to me than just talking from anywhere. So that's what we had to talk about today. And till next week, the question I'm going to leave with you is that what are you doing about preventing disease? What are you doing right now? Even if you can write 1 or 2 points, that would be great. Because sometimes we sit back and we think all is well. But I have been nursing or helping to nurse, not really nurse, but helping to walk with somebody very close to me with kidney disease. And you don't really want to get there. It is something that we can get over, but preventing it is a much better deal. A much, much better deal. And that's what goes with most of the diseases. You are better off being healthy, and even when that malaria or whatever infection comes in, your body knocks out 90%, and Doc J just gives you some paracetamol for the inflammation. So, till next week, folks, have a great weekend and have a lovely day. Bye for now.